It's the time for a package from China, and a massive one. Let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in this video, I must be honest, I'm already a little bit excited because I have been messing around with this product for some time now before I was even making this review. Okay, so this is a mini device from China, or a mini arcade machine. And this device has a lot of potential. And that's also the reason why I'm super excited about it. I've reviewed a couple of these devices here on the channel, and there were always like a problem when it comes to the price, the form factor, or there was always something they freaking mess up. But this device is quite interesting. So first of all, it comes with a 12 volt basic power brick that you're also going to get with a lot of Pandora's boxes. It comes with a very basic printed toilet paper manual, but there was something inside I will show you later what is quite interesting. Then we're going to get, of course, the cable, depends where you live, and we're going to get 2 spare buttons. And they're like the long travel cheap ones. Okay, so the packaging itself, it looks amazing. I was very surprised to see how it looks. So first of all, my first impression is like, this thing feels quite sturdy. It's plastic fantastic, don't get me wrong. But still, it feels very nice. And overall, like, it looks like this mini Viewlix cabinet. Like, of course, they need to rip something off. And also what I'm curious about, this Supretro Mini, how does it look when it's powered on? Does it have a light up feature when it comes to Marque? And overall, I already said, like, the first impression, I was very pleased with it. It looks kind of cool, and this thing has a lot of potential. By the way, what I do like about it is a real portable device. So this means you can bring it with you. It has built-in battery that you can recharge. Okay guys, so let's do a quick comparison with my bottle. Just give you like an idea how big or how small this device is. So it's very compact, it's very sturdy when it comes to the plastic. It's plastic fantastic, but it's very thick plastic. And what I like about it, when you're looking at side by side, you can see like it's not very small, but it's also not very big. But then overall, it looks very nice. I do like the form factor of it. It's quite compact, but how is the weight? Let's take a close look at that. So the total weight is around, let's say 1900 grams. That's not even 2 kilograms. Quite interesting. First of all, the control panel. The control panel is like your typical control panel which you're going to get with most of the arcade machines. It is a 6-button layout, so this means you can play up to, let's say, PlayStation 1, but you can miss out some buttons with some games. But overall, more than enough for most games. The joystick itself is a very nice, loose micro switch joystick, and I can say this thing is super responsive, very pleased about it. The buttons is a different story. Like these cheap quality buttons, it's a very long travel button. It's not really bad, but I'm just going to be honest, I wish they used Senwa. When powering on, you're going to get this amazing light up feature. It's not too bright, it looks very nice. Over here we're going to get the pause, select, start and the volume control. The pause button is needed if you want to go back to the main menu when you're playing a game. We're going to get 2 very tiny speakers, and I must say they sound quite nice. Mid and high are very good, and a slightly touch of bass. But besides the light up buttons, we're also going to get a light up marquee, and it looks amazing. They did a very nice job with this because some of these Barbie tops or mini machines look awful. At the back we're going to get the input for the power supply and also for charging, HDMI out. We're going to get the setting button like with a Pandora's box, USB out, and of course Ethernet connection. But so far I know we don't need the Ethernet connection because there is no functionality inside in the software. But let's plug in the controller. The controller is a different story. So we can use this device like a dedicated game system. I mean with this, like you can plug in some controllers and can basically play up to 4 players. But how does that work? It's quite simple. You plug in a controller, not every single controller will work. You go to the menu and here you can see they completely messed up the menu, but you can say yeah, you want to use a controller or the internal controller or the joystick itself. But I had a little bit of an issue. When I booted up, I tried different methods, but I couldn't get the HDMI out to function with my mini arcade. Don't know if it's an issue with the main board, but in the end it doesn't work for me. Okay, so let's open it over here. This compartment, what you can do is like remove the batteries. And the thing is like we're having 3 batteries in total. These are your typical batteries you can pick up from Amazon. Take consideration, so far I know like they're always really hard to find or getting the real ones. You can replace them very easily. And the thing is, like with these batteries, they are not always coming with the arcade machine itself. So if you want to know for sure, always double check with the seller if you're going to get some batteries or you need to buy them separately. But okay, the next up, let's talk about the display itself. The display is a widescreen display, an IPS, and it looks amazing. But there is a way to change the aspect ratio. I can already tell you that I figured out how to do that. It's not a really convenient way, but the display is very bright and very colorful. The thing that we need to do is remove the front plastic. There are two big parkers in here. You need to remove it and you can just lift it off. Super easy, or better said, easy peasy. It's not super convenient, then you need to remove the panel. And here we can find the buttons to basically navigate through the menu. And with the menu, I mean of course the menu of the LCD display itself. Here we can change out the aspect ratio from 60:9 by 4:3. Something I wish they did with the software, but not a problem. We can do it with the LCD display. Take consideration with this version I'm having here, this particular version I can do it. I don't know if there's a different brand out there, if it also has this option. Okay, so that fixes the aspect ratio, but there was another thing some people really hate, and that's the filter option. So nowadays with these devices we're going to get like a filter over it that doesn't look that pixelated. So if you don't like it, you want to have the original one, you need to go to the software pressing the tiny button at the back like with a Pandora's box, go to the system menu, and here we can change out quality optimization, turn it off, and it will look exactly like it was back in the day. We don't have any scanline option, but here you can see that it looks way better. Personally, I prefer it having this way because, come on man, this looks like awesome. Like having the 4:3 aspect ratio in combination with no freaking ugly filter. But okay, the software itself. How is it with this? So it looks very similar to the Pandora's box, and I can tell you, it is. So when I'm looking at the specifications, but especially when I'm looking at, let's say, the way they made this, it is exactly the same stuff like the new latest Pandora's boxes. One choppy menu, and we're going to get a lot of double games, a lot of hack games. There are some 8-bit and 60-bit stuff on here, but it is very limited. And you can see like oh boy, like even the titles go out of the line. It looks really ugly. We do have a search option pressing the B. With B, you're going to get the extra option search through the games. It's very convenient, especially when you're having one big gigantic pile of a shit list. So in my opinion, I really hate this menu because especially when you're going to slap up a lot of games on it, it's very hard to search them, even with the search function. The gameplay itself, it's similar to the Pandora's boxes, and it's highly possible it will suffer from the same problems. But in the end, what you're going to get is quite an overall good performance. So let's try some games and I will show you what I mean.
Get over here! Come here! Round 1. Fight! Mission 4, start! Thank you.
So I was looking at the manual the other night, and I was more like, hey, there is an interesting thing. So this device comes basically with 3 different variations, also with a Raspberry Pi number 4. And with the Raspberry Pi 4, take consideration you're going to get so much more performance and so many more options when it comes to playing games. I just want to do a quick teardown, so if you can maybe upgrade this device. And also, can we even do a very quick teardown? Now, okay, so first of all, I needed to remove the control panel. That is something I needed to do. So then I wanted to basically get this part out, but I couldn't. And I'm more like, shit. Okay, we need to do a further teardown. So the next thing that we're going to do is going to remove every single parker that I can find. So the next thing that we need to do is removing all the freaking parkers from the back, so we can remove this part and see if we can manage to just take a close look in the inside. Another thing that I want to do is like, what can we get in the inside and can we upgrade it in the future? What are like the modding possibilities? I must like the mainboard, this super mini retro Pandora's box thing. I must say it's not bad and has a lot of potential. Okay, so here we're going to get in the inside. So we're going to get a couple of PCBs. The PCB over there, which you can see, is of course for the conversion of the batteries. Of course for the voltage that we're going to need in the machine. The left side is the driver board for the monitor itself. And at the right we're going to get the mainboard. And the cables go straight into the two speakers, because the audio will be sending through the driver board of the monitor into the speaker itself. The speakers, I don't know how many watts there are, but they are like quite okay. Over here we're going to get this tiny board. The board itself, it's in quad core, if I'm saying it correctly. It's not powerful, and you notice it when it comes with playing some old school games. The control panel. The control panel is quite interesting, because you can do some modifications. When it comes to the joystick, to be honest, I don't know for sure. The joystick itself is okay, so I would not replace it. But the buttons, I think it was Sanwa that has original buttons that you can replace. So if you don't like them, you can always like swap them out for different buttons, or you have some issues. Okay, so to conclude this video, the Supretro Mini, I'm just going to be honest, I really like this piece of hardware. It's maybe plastic fantastic, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels quite sturdy, it has a lot of options. If you're slapping a Pi in this machine or you're getting one with a Pi, you're going to get some more options to play. But when you're looking at some two-dimensional stuff, 8-bit, 16-bit stuff, it can play it all. And the audio is okay, the display is nice, and we can change the aspect ratio. But I thank you for watching, consider subscribing, hit the little bell to become on the Marque Light family, and I'll see you in the next video.